Well, an extraordinary story out of Maryland, Howard County. Howard County says the 14th Amendment gives it the power to create a school board seat that only illegal immigrants could vote for. Think about that one. Somehow that works in the 14th Amendment. You heard that right. Only people who are illegally present in the United States will be able to vote in this election in the United States for a representative on the school board. This is insane. Maryland already allows non-citizens to vote in certain jurisdictions, but they haven't quite figured out how to stop U.S. citizens from voting, but they're working on it. You could call this madness, but it's actually just the modern Marxist Democratic Party. And with us now is J. Christian Adams, the president of the Public Interest Legal Foundation, also the founder of the Election Law Center. And J. Christian Adams, it is great to have you back with us. Good to see you.
Great to see you, Lou. Good to see you.
Let's start with Maryland. I understand it's their state; they can do what they want. But under the authority of the 14th Amendment, how do you get there? If you could explain that to us, if you understand their reasoning.
This comes from a lawsuit that we filed against Howard County because they were allowing children to vote as young as 6th grade for a child school board member. I'm not making any of this up. This is the law. The school board member who's a child actually gets to vote. They kept schools closed. They were the deciding vote during COVID. So we challenged this in federal court. And the argument that you referred to from that headline came from the Fourth Circuit argument, Court of Appeals in Richmond, the federal court of appeals, where Howard County took the position if they wanted to, they could set aside a seat on the school board for illegal aliens and only allow illegal aliens to vote for that seat. That is a real argument made in a real federal court by lawyers for Howard County, Maryland.
That's unbelievable. I mean, the election system, as you have taught us all over the years, can be quite extraordinary, as we all learned in 2020, certainly. Give us your sense of just how much madness there will be in 2024. Are you hopeful? Are you concerned?
Both. I think in some places things have gotten better. Like, for example, Georgia. There's even some good laws passed in other states. But some of the usual suspects are still a problem. Nevada still is going to automatically mail, without a request, ballots to every registered voter. Now, the Public Interest Legal Foundation has been on the ground, and we've taken photographs of thousands of commercial addresses. For example, Larry Flint's Hustler Club in Las Vegas has people registered to vote there. So do casinos, head shops, vacant lots, abandoned mines. All of these places are going to have ballots mailed to them because of the auto mail system in Nevada. I'm very worried. I'm worried about Michigan, where they still have 30,000 dead voters on the active rolls. They won't remove them. We're in federal court fighting that. And so in some places I'm optimistic. In other places I'm still concerned.
And the Republican Party itself, why is it not in court challenging all of this nonsense that's been brewed up by a Marxist Dem party that means to destroy the electoral system, or at least just leave enough of it so that they can preserve their own power?
Well, I can't speak for the Republican Party. I can tell you that they have got a storefront open where they're doing some work in some places, like, for example, in Pennsylvania, a county that didn't have enough ballots. They sued them, to make sure there were enough ballots in like Lancaster or somewhere nearby. Look, this is tough stuff. This is expensive stuff. And, a lot of people didn't see this coming. A lot of people, thought the system was working for the last 30 years. A lot of people don't believe that aliens are voting. We know that's true that they are. A lot of people don't think that there's voter fraud. We know that's true that there is.
And what's being done about it? We're looking at what should be based on all the polling, it should be a sure course to victory for President Trump. Many people thought the same thing in 2020. but there was a concerted effort to rig those elections. The Justice Department itself, the Attorney General himself, was involved in some of the deceit and the duplicity. This is an electoral system that's hanging by a thread, if you ask me. What do you say as we wrap up here?
The most destabilizing event is the effort to take President Trump off the ballot by left-wing secretaries of state like Jenna Griswold in Colorado and Sheena Bellows in Maine. That is literally going to destabilize the country if it's successful. The Supreme Court should 9-0 not allow that for a variety of reasons. But this is destabilizing. This is what they did in the Soviet Union, not allowing people to run for office.
Yeah, it's an outrage. J. Christian Adams, always great to talk with you. Thanks for being here. Come back.